What's going on, everyone? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a Arc Hunter build that revolves around the exotic Liar's Handshake. Liar's Handshake exotic perk reads as follows. Cross counter. Using your Arc melee ability or being hit by a melee attack will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful melee counter punch that will heal you. This build is a lot of fun to use if you want to be in the mix at all times, punching each and everything, kind of channeling your inner Titan, but on a Hunter with the mobility and the ability to have a ton of fun and create a lot of arc explosions. Before we get into the build though, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new here. I appreciate each and every one of you stopping by and watching the video. Without further ado though, let's get into the build here. In the subclass here for our super, we're going to be running Gathering Storm, as this allows us to do the most damage with our supers, and it is definitely the go-to for PvE. For our dodge here, you're going to want to run Gambler's Dodge, as this is very important to get our melee ability back, which we're going to be wanting all the time since we're going to be punching everything. For jump, run whatever you want. I like triple jump, however, I know a lot of people are enjoying blink. For your melee here, combination blow is what you want to run, as this is what works perfectly with Liar's Handshake. For your grenade, you can run something like a storm nade, however, you could run whatever else you want. This is what I enjoy running. For our aspects here, we're going to be starting off with Lethal Current. After dodging, your next melee attack has increased lunge range, jolts the target, and creates a damaging aftershock. Damaging any jolted target with melee attacks also blinds them. This is perfect for our build, as we're just getting in there, punching everything we can. We're going to be jolting targets. We're going to be creating a damaging aftershock. We're going to be blinding targets. This pairs perfectly with the Liar's Handshake build. The next one is Flow State. Defeating a jolted target makes you amplified, and then while you are amplified, your dodge recharges more quickly, you are more resilient when dodging, and your reload speed is increased. We're going to be punching everything anyways, and these enemies are going to be jolted, so we're going to be defeating those enemies, which means we're going to be consistently amplified, taking all of the benefits of Flow State. For our fragments here, we're going to be running Spark of Feedback, as taking melee damage briefly increases your outgoing melee damage, which is perfect. We're going to be punching everything anyways. We're going to be getting hit by stuff since we're going to be in the mix with everything. Plus, the 10 to resil is always nice. Next is Spark of Shock, as your arc grenades will jolt targets. We're going to be jolting everything with our nades, with our punches. This just works perfectly in synchronization with our build. Next up is the Spark of Magnitude, as this allows our nades to last longer, and this allows us to jolt more targets. Then our last fragment here is Spark of Resistance. When surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage. We're going to be always surrounded by combatants anyways, so this is perfect. We're going to be resistant to incoming damage at all times. Pairing this with 100 resil, we're going to be resilient all the time. Taking a look at the weapons we want in this build, an Osmosis weapon in the kinetic slot is always a good call, as that allows us to have 3 arc weapons instead of 2. However, if you want to run something like the new Ikelos SMG with Volt Shot, that works phenomenally as well. Forbearance is another great call. In the heavy slot, Thunderlord is a ton of fun to use right now, and the fact that it gets overload is actually pretty beneficial. You could run something like the Storm Chaser as well. Another thing to note though, if you want to do a crazy amount of damage with your melee here, you could run a 1-2 punch shotgun and pair that with Tractor Cannon. You're going to basically be taking the Titan Bonk build and making it for the Hunter. Now, if we want to take a look at our mods here on our armor, on the helmet, we're going to be running Reaping Wellmaker. Reaping Wellmaker will actually allow us to generate a Void Elemental Well after we get a kill with a weapon. On our gauntlets here, we're going to be running Melee Wellmaker. Since we're going to be punching everything, we're going to be making Arc Wells with Melee Wellmaker. On our chest here, Well of Ions. What Well of Ions does is it allows us to do more damage with our melee after we pick up an Arc Elemental Well. On our boots here, we're going to be running Seeking Wells, so any well that we have spawned, it will gravitate towards us, allowing us to pick it up a lot easier. And then on our cloak here, we're going to be running Well of Tenacity. This is why we have Reaping Wellmaker. Every time we generate a Void Well and we pick that up, we're going to be gaining a 3 times resist thanks to Well of Tenacity. Overall, this build is so much fun to use. You're always going to be in the mix. You're going to be punching everything. You're going to be surviving everything because of 100 resil, because of Well of Tenacity, and because of the fragments in our subclass. This just synchronizes so well and allows you to be constantly in the action, punching everything around you. generating those wells for you and your teammates, and you're just going to have a blast. If you guys enjoyed this build, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel here, drop a comment down below if you're using this build right now, if you've tried it out before, or if you're going to give it a go for the first time. I appreciate you guys making it to the end of the video here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.